The cannabis industry has seen significant growth in recent years, and this growth has been reflected in the stock market. As more and more countries legalize cannabis for medicinal and recreational purposes, the cannabis industry has become an attractive investment opportunity for many investors. The global cannabis market is expected to reach $75 billion by 2030, according to a report by the investment bank, Cowen and Company. This growth is being driven by increasing legalization, the expansion of the medical cannabis market, and the growth of the recreational cannabis market. The medical cannabis market is a key driver of growth in the industry, as more and more countries legalize the use of cannabis for medicinal purposes. Medical cannabis is used to treat a wide range of conditions, including chronic pain, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, and Crohn's disease. The increasing acceptance of medical cannabis has led to the development of a range of cannabis-based pharmaceutical products, such as CBD oil and THC pills, which are used to treat specific conditions. The recreational cannabis market is also expected to grow in the coming years, as more and more countries legalize or decriminalize the use of cannabis for recreational purposes. The legalization of recreational cannabis has led to the development of a range of products, including dried cannabis flower, edibles, and concentrates, which are sold through licensed retailers. The cannabis industry has attracted a significant amount of investment from the stock market, with many companies going public through initial public offerings, IPOs, or reverse takeovers, RTOs. These companies have raised millions of dollars in capital, which they have used to fund expansion and research and development. There are a number of different types of companies operating in the cannabis industry, including cultivators, processors, and retailers. Cultivators are responsible for growing and harvesting cannabis plants, while processors extract and refine various components of the plant, such as CBD and THC, for use in a range of products. Retailers are responsible for selling these products to consumers through licensed stores or online platforms. The cannabis industry has also attracted investment from ancillary companies, which provide products or services to the industry but do not directly cultivate, process, or sell cannabis. These companies may provide financing, consulting, branding, or marketing services to cannabis companies, or they may produce equipment or technology used in the cultivation or processing of cannabis. Investing in the cannabis industry can be a risky venture, as the industry is still in its early stages and is subject to changing laws and regulations. Some countries have fully legalized cannabis, while others have only legalized it for medicinal purposes, and in some places, it remains illegal. This patchwork of laws and regulations can make it difficult for investors to navigate the market and can create uncertainty for companies operating in the industry. In addition to the legal risks, the cannabis industry is also subject to economic and market risks, such as changes in consumer demand and competitive pressures. Companies in the industry may also face challenges related to financing, as many traditional financial institutions are hesitant to lend to cannabis companies due to the industry's legal status. Despite these risks, many investors are optimistic about the future of the cannabis industry, and believe that it has significant growth potential. As more and more countries legalize cannabis, and as the industry matures and becomes more regulated, it is expected that the market will become more stable and attractive to investors. There are a number of different ways that investors can participate in the cannabis industry. One option is to invest in individual cannabis companies through the stock market. This can involve buying shares of a company's stock, either through a brokerage account or through a cannabis-focused exchange-traded fund, ETF. Investing in individual cannabis stocks can be risky, as these stocks are subject to the same risks as any other publicly traded company, such as changes in market conditions, competitive pressures, and regulatory risks. It is important for investors to carefully research individual cannabis companies and understand their financial health, growth prospects, and risk profile before making any investment decisions. Another option for investors is to invest in mutual funds or ETFs that focus on the cannabis industry. These investment vehicles allow investors to diversify their holdings across a number of different cannabis companies, which can help mitigate some of the risks associated with investing in individual stocks. It is important for investors to carefully consider the specific holdings of a mutual fund or ETF and understand the level of risk associated with the fund before making any investment decisions. Overall, the cannabis industry has strong ties to the stock market, with many companies in the industry raising capital through public offerings or reverse takeovers. While investing in the cannabis industry carries some level of risk, it is also seen as a potentially lucrative opportunity for investors. As the industry continues to grow and evolve, it will be important for investors to carefully consider the risks and potential rewards before making any investment decisions. One important factor for investors to consider when evaluating the cannabis industry is the regulatory landscape. In many countries, the legal status of cannabis is still in flux, and the laws and regulations governing the industry are subject to change. This can create uncertainty for investors and companies operating in the industry. In countries where cannabis is legal, there are often strict regulations in place governing the cultivation, processing, and sale of cannabis products. These regulations can vary significantly from country to country, and they can have a significant impact on the viability of cannabis companies and the overall growth of the industry. Another important factor for investors to consider is the competitive landscape of the cannabis industry. As the industry continues to grow and mature, it is likely that there will be increased competition among companies. This can lead to downward pressure on prices and margins, which can impact the profitability of companies in the industry. It is also important for investors to consider the potential risks associated with investing in the cannabis industry. These risks can include regulatory risks, economic risks, and market risks. Regulatory risks refer to the possibility that laws and regulations governing the industry could change in a way that negatively impacts companies operating in the industry. Economic risks refer to the possibility that economic conditions could deteriorate, leading to a decline in demand for cannabis products. Market risks refer to the possibility that market conditions could change in a way that negatively impacts the value of cannabis stocks. Despite these risks, many investors are optimistic about the future of the cannabis industry and believe that it has significant growth potential. As more and more countries legalize cannabis, and as the industry matures and becomes more regulated, it is expected that the market will become more stable and attractive to investors. It is important for investors to carefully consider the risks and potential rewards of investing in the cannabis industry before making any investment decisions. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date with market news. Thanks for watching, and stay informed.